here are today's headlines. Security and safety measures are in place for the Black Nazarene procession in Manila on January 9. The Bureau of Internal Revenue looks into a possible tax evasion case against controversial businessman Atong Ang. The Bureau of Fire Protection declares the fire at Metro Ayala Cebu Mall under control. And a coastal town in Sulu launches its first clean water facility. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Preparations are in full swing for the Black Nazarene procession or traslacion on Tuesday. While police and military increase security, the faithful are advised to be careful and remember the purpose of the procession. Here is our report.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines announced that about 1,000 military personnel are tasked to secure this year's traslacion or Black Nazarene procession in Quiapo, Manila. These troops will augment the 5,613 police officers deployed to secure the festivities on January 9. The soldiers are under the AFP's Joint Task Force National Capital Region commanded by Brigadier General Alan Arojado. They would be deployed from Quirino Grandstand to St. John the Baptist Church in Quiapo. Monsignor Hernando Coronel, rector of the Minor Basilica of the Black Nazarene, appealed to the devotees who are sick, pregnant, children, and old people not to join the traslacion for their own safety. Coronel asked the cooperation of attendees to ensure their safety during the celebration. He encouraged them to report to the authorities if they see anything suspicious during the event. Manila Archbishop Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle urged attendees to be pro-people, pro-God, pro-country, and pro-environment. He expressed hope that the participation of the devotees would be for a deeper recognition and holding on to Jesus Christ to do good things to their fellow men. Tagle will be the homilist of the Eucharistic celebration to be held midnight of January 9, while Monsignor Coronel will be the main celebrant. Meanwhile, the Philippine Red Cross issued safety reminders to avoid untoward incidents, especially for those who will be joining the Black Nazarene procession. For this year's procession, about 2,000 Philippine Red Cross volunteers will man first aid stations, fire truck and ambulances to be deployed to provide first aid and assistance among devotees. Organizers will be putting up 4 command posts at the Quiapo Church, Manila City Hall, Luneta, and at the headquarters of the Manila Police District to immediately respond to any emergency situation during the traslacion. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
The family of slain radioman and environmentalist Dr. Jerry Ortega expressed shock that former Palawan Governor Joel Reyes was cleared of liability over his murder in 2011. The former governor was freed from Palawan City Jail Friday following the Court of Appeals ruling on January 4. The CA found no basis for the Palawan Regional Trial Court to order his arrest nor convict him for Ortega's death. Ortega's daughter, Mica Ortega, lamented the CA decision came only a few weeks before the 7th-year anniversary of her father's murder. She said they intend to study their next move with their lawyers. According to the CA's former 11th Division, there was no evidence presented to try Reyes for Ortega's killing. In turn, the CA ordered the Palawan RTC to dismiss the cases against Reyes and ordered his immediate release. Reyes was released from jail on Friday, January 5. Before he was jailed, Reyes escaped to Phuket, Thailand with his brother Mario. They were arrested by Thai police in September 2015 and repatriated to Palawan. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, said the regional bloc will support the Philippines after the recent typhoons through its mechanism to send humanitarian and relief assistance. ASEAN Secretary General Dato Lim Jock Hoi said the ASEAN Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance reaffirmed its commitment to ensure the safety and well-being of the people during so-called times of suffering. Lim said the vulnerability of the ASEAN region is once again aggravated by Typhoon Vinta's landfall in Mindanao last month. He commended the government's disaster preparedness strategy as prompt humanitarian assistance and evacuation measures. He also conveyed his sympathy to those affected by the typhoon. He urged all ASEAN member states to enhance the resilience of their respective communities through disaster risk reduction interventions. Landslides and flash floods unleashed by Vinta have killed at least 160 people. Over 168,000 families were affected by the typhoon. President Rodrigo Duterte finally accepted the resignation of his son, Vice Mayor Paulo, as Vice Mayor of Davao City. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque confirmed the president's acceptance. The letter dated January 5 did not state any reason for the acceptance of the resignation. Duterte said the vice mayor could have been fed up with the issues on his squabble with daughter Isabel and her pre-debut photo shoot in Malacanang. He also said the vice mayor could still be hurting over the insinuations he was involved in the smuggling scandal in the Bureau of Customs. Councilor and party mate Conde Baluran found Duterte's resignation unfortunate considering the good legacy of the vice mayor. Baluran cited a number of programs initiated by the vice mayor to improve the work of the city council. He is optimistic the councilors would stay united for the people of Davao City. Meanwhile, Duterte's replacement is ready to take new responsibility as the second top leader of the city. Councilor and City Council Majority Floor Leader Bernard Alag is expected to sit as the new vice mayor based on succession rules. The United Nations World Tourism Organization urged the public to ensure that impacts of tourism are positive and sustainable as it foresees 1.8 billion tourists traveling around the globe by 2030. Taleb Rifai, Secretary General of UNWTO, said it is up to the public to ensure that the impacts of travel contribute to sustainable development. The General Assembly proclaimed 2017 as the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development. Tourism Assistant Secretary Frederick Alegre said the Philippines will play its part in promoting sustainable tourism as committed by Secretary Wanda Tulfo-Teo before the organization. Alegre said the country's National Tourism Development Plan for 2016 to 2022 targets the arrival of 12 million foreign tourists. The department recorded around 5.47 million international arrivals from January to October 2017. The country is being promoted as an ideal destination for sun, the sand, and water adventures. The DOT is also promoting sports, farm, and faith tourism. Still to come, the Bureau of Internal Revenue looks into a possible tax evasion case against controversial businessman Atong Ang. The Bureau of Fire Protection may face charges over the fire at the NCCC Mall in Davao City. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Mga pinuno ng barangay sa Marawi City, lalo na ng 24 na barangay na pinakamalala ang epekto ng labanan, ay tutulong sa pagpapaliwanag sa kanilang mga nasasakupan kung bakit delikado pa ang pagpunta sa nasabing lugar. Ito ay napagkaisahan sa First Local Government of Marawi Forum na ginawa noong kasagsagan ng Bagyong Vinta noong ika-22 ng Disyembre sa Task Force Bangon Marawi Field Office. Dinaluhan ng 76 na mga barangay chairman, mga konsehal ng Marawi, mga ahensya ng pamahalaan, TFBM Field Office Manager Felix Castro at ang co-manager na si Mayor Mahulgan Damra. Ang pulong ay pinangunahan ni Task Force Bangon Marawi Chairman Eduardo Del Rosario. Sa nasabing pulong ay iprinisenta ng mga pinuno ng clearing operations ang delikadong pagsasagawa ng paghahanap ng mga IED o Improvised Explosive Devices at mga UXO o Unexploded Ordinances. Sa mga pinakaapektadong lugar sa Marawi, ipinahayag ng military na marami pang hindi sumabog na mga IED o UXO ang nakatago sa mga gusali at tahanan sa MAA o Most Affected Area. Samantala, ipinaliwanag ng military na ang proseso sa paghahanap ay masyadong delikado hindi lamang sa mga naghahanap na mga sundalo, kundi pati na rin para sa mga sibilyan kung nagkataong nandun sila sa lugar. Pagtanggal na lahat ang mga IED o UXO sa MAA, kailangan naman suriin ang istruktura ng mga gusali para malaman kung ito ay ligtas pa. Mayroon ng mga kaso ng mga gusali na bigla na lang gumuguho dahil sa laki ng tinamong pinsala ng mga ito. Para sa Bayan, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
The Bureau of Internal Revenue is checking the records of Filipino-Chinese businessman Charlie Atong Ang for the possible filing of a tax evasion complaint against him. Last May, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II asked the BIR to look into a possible violation of the tax code by Ang's Meridian Vista Gaming Corporation. The DOJ chief made the request after Ang accused him and National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon Jr. of plotting to kill him. The tycoon alleged that the two officials were involved in small-town lottery operations and wanted to kill the competition. MVGC operates a Hayalay fronton licensed by Cagayan Economic Zone Authority. Ang was accused of plotting with PCSO board member Sandra Cam to oust General Manager Alexander Balutan so his company would monopolize STL operations in the country. PCSO is earning up to 2 billion pesos a month from STL, an instrument to eradicate illegal gambling such as weteng, which Ang is allegedly involved in. The Department of Transportation said it is ready to fast-track the construction of the PNR Clark Railway as it led the commencement of work on the project in Bulacan. Here is our report.
The Department of Transportation and the Philippine National Railways began various preparations for the construction of the first phase of the PNR Clark Railway project that will run from Tutuban in Manila to Malolos in Bulacan Province. Pre-construction activities include site clearing, grading of unleveled surfaces, and demolition of obstructions to the PNR line. Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade attended the commencement of works for the railway project in Barangay Tabing Ilog in Marilao, Bulacan. Tugade said the department is committed to pursuing measures such as doing parallel activities to fast-track the completion of the railway project. He appealed to Bulacan's local government officials to assist the department in right-of-way issues by informing their constituents of the benefits of the railway system. Meanwhile, Senators Joel Villanueva and J.V. Ejercito lauded the efforts of the DOTR and other government agencies in ensuring the completion of transportation projects that would bring the country inclusive economic growth. Phase 1 of the PNR Clark project involves the construction of the rail system along the 38-kilometer segment from Tutuban, Manila to Malolos, Bulacan. Once completed in 2021, it will have 10 stations and is expected to serve an estimated 340,000 passengers daily. The National Economic and Development Authority already approved Phase 2 of the project, a 70-kilometer stretch from Malolos, Bulacan to Clark, Pampanga, to be further extended north to La Union, to Tuguegarao, and the Subic Freeport. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris Mundo.
The Bureau of Fire Protection and other entities may face charges related to the fire at the NCCC Mall in Davao City that left 38 persons dead. Here is our report.
The Interagency Anti-Arson Task Force is eyeing criminal and administrative charges against officials of the Bureau of Fire Protection Davao, the New City Commercial Center, and the Survey Sampling International, as investigators are set to complete their full report on the December 23 fire incident that left 38 people dead. Task Force spokesman Superintendent Jerry Candido said the team will announce what would be the liabilities and charges that are to be filed against liable people. This developed as the arson laboratory results confirmed an electric short circuit as the cause of fire. He said the investigating team found screws and nails on the galvanized tray, which the team believed that this caused the short circuit. Candido said the team is almost done on probing the cause of the fire, and they will now focus on investigating the liable people for the incident. They will focus on the investigation to the firefighters, inspectors, business owners, contractors, and anyone else that could be liable on the fire incident. Candido said the task force will reveal its recommendation right after they completed the investigation. They will also release recommendations to prevent this kind of tragedy in the future. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Lilian Meliehor.
The Bureau of Fire Protection has declared the fire that hit Metro Ayala, Cebu Friday night under control. The fire was declared under control Sunday noon. Damage to property was estimated at 100 million pesos. No injuries have yet been reported. The Cebu City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office on Saturday predicted it would take 2 days to control the fire, which broke out at the Toy Department stockroom on the 3rd floor. Cebu City Fire Department said they received the alarm past 9 p.m. Friday. It raised the fire alarm to Task Force Alpha as thick black smoke continued to billow from the stockroom. Employees and customers of the department store had safely got out of the establishment when the fire started. By 12 noon Saturday, the fire reached the 2nd level. Meanwhile, the CCDRRMO advised everyone living near the Cebu Business Park with cardiopulmonary problems to evacuate due to heavy, hazardous, or toxic fumes from the fire. Small-scale miners are paving the way for the transfer of mining equipment to the mineral processing zone in Mabatas area in Moncayo, Compostela Valley. The Philippine Mining Development Corporation, or PMDC, spearheads the government's initiative to develop the Diwalwal Mineral Reservation. The transfer of batch-type mini-CIP plants and ball mill plants operated by the miners had been recommended because of high mercury contamination levels in Nabok River. The processing zone has the tailings containment facility to avoid and eliminate the direct discharging of waste from the plants to the waterways. PMDC was required to rehabilitate the tailings dam facility and develop mineral processing zone. Gold mining sites are found in almost all of the province's 11 municipalities. 70% of the 10,400 total population of Diwalwal are miners. During the groundbreaking of the Gold Museum in March last year, the provincial government reported the province still holds one of the biggest gold deposits in the Philippines, with an estimated gold reserve of over 181 million metric tons. Up next, Alab Pilipinas posts its 3rd straight win in the ASEAN Basketball League. A coastal town in Sulu launches its first clean water facility. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns. The Department of Education of the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao hired 192 public school teachers in Sulu following a reform of its screening of applicants. ARMM Governor Mujib Hataman signed the appointment papers and deployment orders of the teachers who will be sent to different public schools in the province. The teachers were hired after undergoing a screening process that includes validation of their credentials, a comprehensive examination, a teaching demonstration, and a panel interview. Hataman said that applicants were assessed on equal footing to eliminate nepotism and patronage that reportedly beset the DepEd ARMM's hiring of teachers in previous years. He challenged the new teachers to help improve the status of basic education in the region. A special body was also created to monitor the teachers' timely reporting to their assigned schools and their compliance with the terms of their deployment. At present, there are more than 500 public elementary and secondary schools in Sulu. Alab Pilipinas stretched its winning run to 3 games after holding off the Singapore Slingers in overtime in the ASEAN Basketball League at OCBC Arena in Singapore. Ronaldo Bachman paced the Philippine side with 26 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. Justin Brownlee triggered the pull-away in the extra period and finished with 17 markers, 7 boards, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 2 rejections. The Filipinos got their act together in overtime and held Singaporeans scoreless for the better part of the period. Chris Charles carried the load for the Slingers with a double-double of 22 points, 11 rebounds, while Hanbin Nang stepped up big his crew as he went 4 of 5 from 3 to nab 15 markers and 2 boards. AJ Mandani, who forced the overtime, added 13 points as Singapore dropped to 3 wins and 5 losses. The Philippine Basketball Association made significant tweaks to the Philippine Cup schedule for calendar year 2018. The first games of the scheduled Mega Manila doubleheaders will now start at 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. The second game on Saturday will start at 6:45 p.m., while the one-game Saturday fixtures outside Mega Manila will still start at 5 p.m. On the other hand, the rematch of the Governor's Cup Finals between Meralco and Ginebra on February 18 will take place at the Philippine Arena in Bocaue, Bulacan. Preceding the 6:45 p.m. game between the Bolts and the Barangay is the 4:30 p.m. battle between the NLEX Road Warriors and the Blackwater Elite. In another venue adjustment, the January 14 Twin Bull featuring the Kia Alaska and Magnolia NLEX games will now be played at the Smart Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City. Also happening there is the PBA's Valentine's Day treat and the February 16 doubleheader, as well as the final day of the eliminations on March 2nd. The February 2 play date, in which the Elite battle the Hot Shots and the Bolts take on the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters, will happen at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. Likewise, the Feb 9 fixtures will happen at the Cuneta Astrodome, also in Pasay. On the other hand, the TNT Catropas game against the Elite will now be played on January 17 at the Big Dome at 7 p.m. Their showdown with the Bolts will be held on January 21 at the Inares Center in Antipolo City at 4:30 p.m. A coastal town in Sulu has its first ever source of clean and safe water through the efforts of the ARMM's local government. Other infrastructure projects are on its way to the town that was previously out of reach of government services. Here is our report.
Sulu is a storied place rich with history. This is a province where people are at once proud of their history as Moros, and they're focused on working toward a good future. One where they and their children can enjoy their dream of a simple, peaceful, and productive life. A simple life now also means having access to the basics, such as potable water on tap sourced from a safe water system. Until recently, the townsfolk of Panglima Estino still had to dig wells to gain access to water. The water from these hand-pump wells in this 5th-class coastal town was unsafe for drinking and was salty because of the town's proximity to the sea. The Sagay-Sagay Water Supply System Level 2 was installed in Panglima Estino with funding from the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao and is the first and only water system of its kind there. This new water system means less worry over the waterborne diseases endemic to Sulu. It also means more privacy for women and children because the people no longer need to make forays to the wells for water. ARMM Governor Mujib Hataman led the formal turnover of the water system to Panglima Estino Mayor Benchar Estino on January 4. This new water system and the other infrastructure projects will definitely drive economic growth in Panglima Estino because it will set the townsfolk free to focus on building stronger communities and lives. The best investments a government can make, after all, are in its people. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country.
Veteran journalist and publisher Amado Jake Makasait died Sunday at the age of 81. Makasait's daughter, Karina, confirmed her father's demise at around 8:35 a.m. of January 7. Makasait was publisher of Malaya Business Insight and also served as the chairman emeritus of the Philippine Press Institute. Makasait's body now lies at the Heritage Park in Taguig City. According to his daughter, Makasait passed away surrounded by his family. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
And here's another look at today's headlines. Security and safety measures are in place for the Black Nazarene procession in Manila on January 9. The Bureau of Internal Revenue looks into a possible tax evasion case against controversial businessman Apong Ang. The Bureau of Fire Protection declares the fire at Metro Ayala Cebu Mall under control. And a coastal town in Sulu launches its first clean water facility. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. And that's your daily dose of the hottest news and the latest information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm William Theo. Good day.